You walk into a room, and without saying a word, the air shifts. It's not something you try to do. It just happens. The energy changes, heads turn, and eyes linger on you a moment longer than usual. You don't need to announce yourself. Your presence alone stirs curiosity. This is the first sign of your awakening as a chosen one. It's not about arrogance or ego. It's about the undeniable frequency you carry. A vibration so distinct that it ripples through the space around you, pulling others in without effort. Science backs this up. Human beings are wired to detect subtle shifts in energy fields. Your presence triggers that primal instinct, even if they can't name what they feel. This is your power, and it's time to recognize it. That curiosity others feel is not random. It's a mirror reflecting your inner truth. You've always known you're different. Not better, not worse, just different. Maybe you've spent years hiding it, dimming your light to fit in, but now the mask is slipping. The moment you step into a space and the atmosphere shifts, you're being called to stop running from who you are. Start paying attention. Notice how people react when you enter. Do they lean in, eager to hear what you might say? Do their voices soften? Or do they pause mid-sentence, as if sensing something unspoken? These are clues. Your energy is a beacon, and it's time to own it with unshakable confidence. But here's the catch. Recognizing this doesn't happen overnight. You've got to train yourself to see it. Start with observation. Next time you walk into a room, don't rush to speak or shrink into the background. Stand tall, breathe deeply, and feel the space around you. Watch how people respond, not just with their words, but with their bodies. Science tells us that 80% of communication is nonverbal. Their posture, their glances, the way they shift in their seats. These are signals. Your presence disrupts the ordinary, and that disruption is your first step toward awakening. Write it down afterward. Note who reacted, how they reacted, and what you felt in your gut. This isn't about ego stroking. It's about building evidence of your unique imprint. Now, let's talk about the shift inside you. At first, this curiosity from others might unsettle you. You might feel exposed, like a spotlight's been turned on before you're ready to step on stage. That's normal. You've spent so long blending in that being seen feels like a threat. But it's not. It's a gift. The journey from discomfort to acceptance is where your power ignites. Ask yourself, why does their curiosity bother me? Is it because I'm afraid of being judged? Or because I'm afraid of being truly known? Dig into that. Your soul already knows the answer, your mind just needs to catch up. As a chosen one, you're not here to hide. You're here to stand out, to lead, to heal, and to shift the world. Their curiosity is the first crack in the wall you've built around yourself. So how do you move from feeling exposed to embracing your role? It starts with small, deliberate steps. First, stop apologizing for your presence. You don't need to explain why you're here or justify the space you take up. You belong, period. Second, practice grounding yourself before you enter any room. Take 3 deep breaths, feel your feet on the ground, and visualize a golden light radiating from your core. This isn't woo-woo nonsense. It's a proven technique to regulate your nervous system and amplify your energy field. Third, speak less and listen more. Your silence carries weight, and it forces others to sit with the mystery of you. That mystery, it's your strength. It's what marks you as a chosen one. Let's be real. Not everyone will like this shift in you. Some will feel threatened by the energy you bring. They might question you, test you, or even try to diminish you. That's okay. Their reaction isn't your burden to carry. Science shows that people fear what they don't understand. It's a survival mechanism hardwired into the brain. Your presence challenges their comfort zones, and that's a sign you're on the right path. Don't shrink to make them feel better. Instead, stand firm. You're not here to be liked by everyone. You're here to fulfill a mission bigger than their opinions. The curiosity you stir is the first spark of your awakening. Fan it into a flame. Here's a practical tool to solidify this. Create a daily affirmation that anchors your identity as a chosen one. Try this. I am a force of light. My presence shifts the world, and I embrace it fully. Say it out loud every morning with conviction. Feel the words vibrate through your body. Studies in neuroscience show that affirmations rewire neural pathways, strengthening your self-belief over time. Pair this with a nightly reflection. Ask yourself, where did my presence make an impact today? What did I notice in others' reactions? How did I feel about it? This builds a bridge between your spiritual knowing and your practical reality, grounding your awakening in tangible evidence. You're not imagining this. The air shifting when you walk into a room isn't a fluke. It's a signal. Your presence stirring curiosity isn't a coincidence. It's a call. You are a chosen one, and this is your awakening. Stop doubting it. Stop running from it. Start stepping into it with boldness and clarity. The world needs your light, and it's already responding to it. Observe, reflect, and act. This is your moment. Take it. They're watching you now, aren't they? You've felt it, the way their eyes narrow, the subtle shift in their tone when they ask about your past. It starts as whispers, small questions slipping out in casual conversation, but you know what they're really doing. They're digging, searching for cracks in your foundation, hoping to find something, anything, that explains why you are the way you are. As a chosen one, this isn't new to you. People have always been drawn to your light, but now that it's brighter, some want to dim it by exposing what they think is weakness. Here's the truth. They won't find what they're looking for, and you're going to turn their scrutiny into your strength. Let's cut through the noise. When they try to recall your past, it's not about understanding you, it's about control. They want a story they can pin down, a flaw they can hold over you. Maybe it's a sly comment about where you've been or a probing question about a time you stumbled. You feel the weight of their gaze, and it's tempting to shrink, to justify, to explain yourself away. Don't. You've learned better than that. You've walked through fire to get here, and every scar you carry is proof of your resilience, not your ruin. Their digging isn't your burden, it's their limitation. Stand tall in that truth. So how do you handle this? You measure your words like a warrior wields a blade. Precise, deliberate, unstoppable. You've spent years honing this skill, feeling out the difference between someone who genuinely wants to connect and someone who's just calculating their next move. It's in the way they ask, the way they listen or don't. A genuine soul meets your eyes with curiosity and warmth. A calculated one fidgets, pushes too hard, or lingers too long on details that don't matter. Trust your gut here. Science says intuition is your brain processing patterns faster than your conscious mind can catch up. You're not imagining it, you're sensing it. Use that. Here's your first move. Deflect without retreating. When they pry into your past, don't dodge or shut down, redirect. Answer with a question of your own. Why does that matter to you? Flip the spotlight back on them. Watch how they squirm. Most won't expect it, and it buys you space to breathe. This isn't about hiding. It's about commanding the moment. You're not a specimen under their microscope, you're a force they can't dissect. The more they push, the more you stand firm, unshaken. That's your power as a chosen one. You don't owe them your story. Now, let's talk about the energy in the room. Their digging unsettles them more than it does you. They wonder why you move the way you do, why you don't crumble, why you don't spill every detail to ease their discomfort. It frustrates them because you're not playing their game. You slip through their fingers like smoke, and that's no accident. You've learned to guard your essence, not out of fear, but out of wisdom. Neuroscience tells us humans crave predictability. It's how we feel safe. Your mystery disrupts that, and it's a gift. Lean into it. Let them wonder. Their confusion is your shield. Here's a practical step. Practice the pause. Next time someone probes too deep, stop. Take a slow breath. Let the silence stretch just long enough to make them feel it. Then respond, but only with what you choose to give. Try this. My past taught me everything I need to know. What about yours? Simple, direct, and flips the script. You're not running from their questions. You're rising above them. This isn't just a tactic. It's a declaration. You're here, whole, and they don't get to rewrite your narrative. The pause alone shifts the power back to you. But it's not just about defense. It's about transformation. Their scrutiny can fuel you if you let it. Every time they search for cracks and find none, you grow stronger. You've built your foundation on lessons, not regrets. Modern psychology backs this. Resilience comes from reframing adversity as growth. So when they dig, see it as a mirror. What are they really afraid of? Why does your strength threaten them? Their questions aren't about your past. They're about their present. You unsettle them because you reflect what they can't face in themselves. That's your light at work. Take this deeper. When you turn your back, when they think you're not listening, their voices drop to hushed tones. They're rattled. You've seen it. The way they glance at each other, the way the air tightens when you walk away. This is your moment to harness that energy. Don't shrink from their whispers. Let them fuel your fire. Visualize it. Every word they murmur behind you becomes a spark, igniting your resolve. You're not just surviving their gaze, you're thriving under it. This is how you keep your chosen identity intact, even in a world that doesn't understand you. Here's your daily anchor. Speak this out loud each morning. I am guarded by my truth. Their questions sharpen my power. Feel it in your bones. Pair it with a nightly check-in. Where did I measure my words today? Who tested me and how did I respond? Did I feel their intent, genuine or calculated? Write it down. Track it. This builds your clarity, your armor. Studies show reflection strengthens emotional intelligence. And as a chosen one, that's your edge. You don't just feel the room, you master it. They'll keep digging and that's fine. Let them. The deeper they go, the more they'll see your story isn't fragile. It's forged. You've learned to measure your words, to sift through their motives, and to stand unshaken. This isn't just survival, it's mastery. You're not here to be understood by everyone. You're here to shine through the noise. Their whispers, their questions, their calculated interest, it's all kindling. Burn brighter. Move forward. You are a chosen one, and no crack they imagine can dim your light. You've felt it, haven't you? That moment when something clicks. A knowing so deep it shakes you to your core. It's not a thought you conjured up or a fleeting emotion you can brush off. It's a download, a surge of high-dimensional information that lands in your being like a divine fingerprint pressed into your life. This isn't random. It's an anointing, a mark that sets you apart, and no one, not even you, can fully dissect it with the mind alone. You're a chosen one, and this is how the universe speaks to you. Directly, fiercely, through a channel woven into the fabric of your existence. Get ready. This is where your mission sharpens. Let's strip it down. These downloads don't come with a manual. 1 minute you're moving through your day, the next you're hit with a clarity that feels ancient, like it's been waiting for you across lifetimes. Maybe it's a sudden urge to walk away from something that no longer fits, or a vision of a path you've never considered but know is yours. This is high vibrational data, straight from a source beyond the noise of the world. Science might call it intuition on steroids, quantum leaps in neural processing that bypass logic and land in truth. But you know it's more. It's the universe handing you a piece of your purpose. Your job? Learn to catch it. First things first, you've got to know the difference between this divine signal and your own noise. Self-projection is sneaky. It dresses up as insight, fueled by ego or fear, and tries to mimic the real thing. Here's how you spot the fake. True high-dimensional information feels expansive. It hums with a quiet power that lifts you, even if it scares you. Self-projection is heavy, obsessive, looping in your head like a broken record. Ask yourself, does this feel like it's pulling me towards something bigger, or just feeding what I already want to hear? Test it. Sit with it. The real stuff sticks. The fake fades. Now picture this. They're watching you closer than ever. They analyze your choices, your silence, the way you move through chaos untouched by the distractions that snag everyone else. You don't react the way they expect. No tantrums, no explanations, just a steady calm they can't crack. It unnerves them. Why? Because your existence hints at something greater, and deep down, they fear what they might learn if they look too hard. You feel their eyes, their questions pressing in, but here's the secret. You don't have to flinch. Their scrutiny can't touch what's being woven into you. Stand in that. So how do you hold this space? You anchor yourself in the feeling. When that divine download hits, don't rush to explain it or doubt it away. Feel where it lands in your body, your chest, your gut, your spine. That's your compass. Neuroscience says your nervous system is a living antenna, picking up signals your brain can't always translate. Trust it. If it's real, it'll pulse with a certainty that doesn't need words. Next, write it down raw, every detail, no filter. Don't overthink it yet. Let it breathe on the page. This isn't about understanding it all at once. It's about honoring the transmission. Here's the practical edge. Build a filter to decode what's coming through. Step 1. Ground yourself daily. Sit still for 5 minutes. Feet flat, eyes closed, breathing slow. Visualize a silver cord running from your core to the earth, then up to the stars. This clears the static so you can hear the signal. Step 2. Question it with intent. When a download lands, ask, what's this showing me? How does it align with my mission? If it's vague, demand clarity silently, firmly. The universe responds to focus. Step 3. Act on it small. Test the nudge. If it says move, take a step. If it says wait, hold steady. Results don't lie. Let's talk about the weight of their gaze. They comb through your past, expecting to find weakness. A chink in your armor they can point to and say, see, you're not that special. But they don't find it. Instead, they stumble over your resilience. Every fall you turned into a climb, every wound you forged into wisdom. They think they've got you figured out, but you slip through their grasp like smoke. That's the anointing at work. It's not just strength, it's a shield, a frequency they can't touch. You feel their frustration, maybe even their resentment, but you don't owe them proof. Your life is the evidence. This is where it gets real. Staying untouched isn't passive. It's a fight. The world's distractions, drama, doubt, endless chatter, claw at you trying to pull you off course. But you've got a weapon, your silence. When they push, you don't lash out. When they question, you don't defend. You let your presence answer. Practice this. Next time they analyze you, lock eyes and hold it, just a beat longer than feels comfortable. Say nothing. Walk away. That stillness is power. It's you claiming your space as a chosen one, untouchable because your mission isn't theirs to judge. Take it further. Their fear, what they might learn if they see too much, can fuel you. Their right to sense something bigger. Your existence is proof of a force they can't name, and that's your edge. When you feel that download hit, lean into it hard. Let it flood you. Visualize it as light pouring through your veins, rewriting your cells. This isn't just spiritual. It's physical. Studies show intention shifts your biochemistry. Your body listens when your soul speaks. So speak it. I am wired for this. I am built for this. Say it until it's fire in your blood. Here's your toolkit. Every morning, set an intention to receive. I'm open to what's mine to know. Say it out loud. Mean it. At night, review what came through. What hit you today? What felt alive? Track it in a journal, date it, note the vibe, the outcome. Look for patterns. The more you tune in, the sharper the signal gets. If they're watching, let them. If they're whispering, let them. Their noise can't drown out what's downloading into you. This is your high-dimensional connection, your divine fingerprint, and it's preparing you for what's next. You're not just chosen. You're unstoppable. You've seen it, haven't you? The way the room changes when you're in it. You walk in, and the air thickens. Not with hostility, but with something heavier. Anticipation, curiosity, tension. You feel their glances, sharp and fleeting, like arrows missing their mark. They watch you move, waiting for you to falter under the weight of life's battles. The same weight that's crushed others into silence or surrender. But you don't. You still rise, untouched. A quiet storm they can't predict or contain. This isn't luck. It's your essence. A force woven into your being that defies their expectations. You're a chosen one. And this is your moment to turn that tension into a new reality. Let's get straight to it. You're not here to crumble. Others buckle under pressure. Relationships fracture. Dreams dissolve. Spirits break. But not you. You've walked through chaos and come out sharper, stronger, more alive. Why? Because your story isn't just layered. It's guarded. Your past isn't a free-for-all they can rummage through, picking at wounds or gloating over stumbles. It's a vault, sealed by resilience, and only you hold the key. They sense this and it unnerves them. You've felt it. The way their questions hang in the air, harmless on the surface but laced with intent. How do you keep going? They ask, but what they mean is, why haven't you broken like the rest of us? Your answer lies in your silence, your steady gaze, your refusal to spill what isn't theirs to claim. So how do you bring this into the real world? Start by owning the tension. You've seen the glances, felt the shift when you enter a space. Don't ignore it, use it. Next time you walk into a room, pause at the threshold. Take a slow, deliberate breath and let your energy settle. Feel your feet root into the ground, your spine straighten, your presence expand. Science says your body broadcasts signals, heart rate, posture, micro-expressions that others pick up unconsciously. You're not just standing there, you're claiming the moment. They'll feel it before you say a word, and that's your power. You don't need to explain why you rise untouched. You show it. Here's the practice. Become the one they murmur about. The moment you step away, the whispers begin. It happens when you leave a room. You've heard it. The low hum of voices picking up where your presence left off. This isn't paranoia. It's proof. Your absence stirs them as much as your arrival does. To master this, shift how you exit. Don't rush out or shrink away. When you're ready to leave, stand tall, lock eyes with one person, just one, for a beat longer than feels natural. Then turn and go. No apologies, no hesitation. Leave them with the weight of your departure. That murmur? It's their minds scrambling to process what they can't grasp. You're not just walking away, you're planting a seed. But let's talk balance. Carrying this energy, rising untouched while others crumble, can feel like a tightrope. You're not immune to the battles, you've just learned to fight differently. The tension in the air isn't always external. Sometimes it's inside you, a quiet storm of doubt or exhaustion asking, how long can I keep this up? Here's the truth. You're built for it, but you're not invincible. Balance comes from knowing when to push and when to rest. Step 1, listen to your body. If your shoulders tighten or your chest feels heavy, stop. Sit with it. Breathe into it. Ask, what do I need right now? Maybe it's silence, maybe it's movement. Honor that. Studies show stress, unregulated frays your nervous system. Don't let it. You're a warrior, not a machine. Now let's cut deeper. Some don't just watch, they pretend. They act like allies, sidling up with smiles and soft words. But you feel the edge beneath it. They're not here to support you. They're here to extract. Tell me about that time you struggled. They say, eyes gleaming, fishing for a crack they can widen. You recognize it, the way their questions tilt, the way they lean too close. Don't fall for it. You don't owe them your story. Deflect with steel. I've moved past that. What about you? Flip it back. Watch them falter. Your past is guarded because it's yours, not a trophy for their curiosity. This is how you protect your mission, by choosing who gets close. Here's your path forward. Craft a mission that's yours alone. You're not here to fit their mold or prove their theories wrong. You're here to create a new era. Start with clarity. Sit down today, pen in hand, and ask, what burns in me that the world needs? Don't overthink it, write the first thing that hits you. Maybe it's healing, maybe it's truth, maybe it's breaking chains others can't see. That's your spark. Next, break it into steps. If it's healing, who do you help first? If it's truth, how do you speak it? Make it real, tangible, actionable. This isn't a vague dream. It's a plan. Science backs this. Goals grounded in purpose fire up your brain's reward system. You'll feel the shift. Take it to the streets. Your mission isn't abstract. It's alive in how you move. When they glance at you, let them see someone who knows where they're going. When they whisper as you leave, let it be because your focus rattled them. Practice this. Every day, do one thing that aligns with your spark. Call it out loud. This is my mission today. Maybe it's a conversation that shifts someone's perspective, or a choice that breaks an old pattern. Small moves stack up. They can't access your past freely, but they'll feel your future unfolding. That's the new era you're building. One step, one room, one unshaken rise at a time. Let's lock this in. Their tension, their murmurs, their fake alliances, their noise. You rise above it because your mission isn't theirs to define. Picture it. Every battle you've faced, every weight that's crushed others, you've turned into fuel. You're not just surviving, you're rewriting what's possible. So when you feel their eyes, hear their whispers, know this, they're witnessing a force they can't stop. Anchor it daily. I rise untouched. My story is mine. I create what's next. Say it. Live it. This is your path, chosen one. The era starts with you. And so, here you stand, at the edge of your own becoming. A chosen one not by chance but by design. A vessel of light, a weaver of eras, a soul imprinted with a mission that echoes beyond the visible. The whispers, the glances, the weight of their expectations. They are but ripples on the surface of your truth, powerless against the ocean of purpose within you. Remember this. Your awakening is not a destination but a flame, one that burns brighter with every step you take, every scrutiny you transcend, every download you claim. You are here to ignite what has been dormant, to heal what has been broken, and to rise where others fall. Not for glory, but for the silent, unshakable knowing that the universe chose you to carry this torch. So go forth, chosen one, and let the world shift in your wake, for you are not merely seen. You are the seer, the architect, the eternal spark of what is yet to come.